So John, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you and what's the brand that you represent?
Okay, so my name's John Davies. I'm the UK Managing Director for FASTSIGNS. FASTSIGNS is a signs, graphics and visual communication company. We're an American-based franchise. We've got over 780 franchisees operating in 9 countries. Global brand, global player. We are number one in the industry, according to me, in terms of profitability and revenue per location. We certainly are streets ahead.
Okay, and John, we're obviously talking about franchising. So what is your personal franchising story? How did you get involved in franchising?
Good question. So back in 2000, I was approached by 2 South African business owners who I was a supplier to in that business. And they said, we'd like you to join our business and lead a franchising division. I pointed out that I didn't know anything about franchising at the time, and they said, don't worry, we'll learn as we go. Best part of 12 years later, I left that company. We'd grown the network from a single retail outlet location. We had 175 outlets. 45 of them were franchised, and I was responsible for franchising. And I also ended up owning 2 of those franchises. So I was a franchisor and a franchisee at the same time. All that ended and we sold and exited. It was all very pleasant. Originally it was sold to a FTSE 50 company, and then latterly it was sold to private equity. And then I thought that was my journey done with franchising. So I got a proper job outside of the industry. And then out of the blue, I was contacted by a recruitment company that work in the franchising sector, and they said, how would you like to go for a week-long job interview to Dallas, Texas? And I thought, well, that sounds interesting. I'll go and do that. Upon which I met Catherine Monson and the FASTSIGNS management team over in Dallas, Texas. And I have to say, I was presented with a world-class franchise opportunity. And I thought to myself, these people do all of the things in the way in which you're supposed to do it, and probably in the way in which we should have done it first time round. We were good at it, but this is world class. And I thought to myself, if I do a bad job of replicating this in the UK, when I return, I'll have a very good business. And I don't know, it's my 10th year now. We've had some successes. We've grown the network. We've done a lot of resales because we had a lot of legacy franchisees who obviously wanted to exit, and that's a very important part of the journey. Sales for our franchisees are going really well at the moment. Profitability is at an all-time high. And franchise satisfaction, linked heavily to profitability, I will say, is also at an all-time high. We've recently won the 5-Star Satisfaction Award, retained it, should I say, and we also got the Continuous Improvement Award. So the team that I'm very able and privileged to work with deliver fantastic levels of support to our network, and that's recognised externally. So does that encapsulate franchising for me?
It does, yeah. So in terms of obviously you being on both sides of the fence, why would you say that franchising is a really good route for someone thinking about business?
So I would say franchising provides people with commercial aspirations. They want to do their own business ownership. It provides them with the gateway and the pathway to doing that. I think entrepreneurs are born. Entrepreneurs would not think about getting a job. They just set businesses up. They find out they've got businesses and they either like it or they don't. It's successful or it's not, and they get into it and get out of it fairly quickly. There are a lot of people who have aspirations to work for themselves but not by themselves. They're not risk averse, but they need something to encourage them to reduce the odds of failure, to improve the odds of success. So franchising as a vehicle gives those people a great opportunity and pathway into that. If you choose the right model, you can still bring all of your personal skills, your personality, your passion. It can all be expressed and polished and showcased within a franchise, but you're following a model which is proven very successful, and hopefully that affords people the opportunity to get the work-life balance and the rewards that they seek.
Okay, so that's the general picture of franchising as a whole. What's special about FASTSIGNS in particular and the vision that you've got for the future of the brand?
So I would say the key selling features, the key attractions to our franchise model are it's Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. It's a B2B clientele. So it's a very professional arrangement. You don't deal with the vagaries of a market and the whims of fashion. The signage and graphics industry has been around for a heck of a long time. We're a very stable business. We're recession resistant. We know we're pandemic proof, for example, which is really, really good. So if people want to build a solid business that can deliver excellent profit margins, where they can build a team of people that are like-minded, their sorts of team of people, you've got to have a little bit of creativity, I would say. You've got to have a passion for it. Project management skills, because we sell solutions, so you have to capture the customer's project, their requirements, and work out how you can project manage many different aspects of our business to bring that together to meet the customer's expectations and requirements. The one thing I would say with FASTSIGNS, it's got an incredibly strong brand. We've been going for over 40 years, and the levels of support that are provided globally are probably unrivaled in the industry. I know a lot of good franchisees, franchise businesses out there, but FASTSIGNS certainly sits alongside them, in my opinion.
Okay, so let's now talk about someone who's watching this.
Oh, okay.
Why do you want them in particular to join FASTSIGNS?
Well, firstly, I would say their individual circumstances have got to be right. They've got to want to change. Maybe they've had a working career, or maybe they have had a business on their own and they've found it lonely. They found there's probably a bit too much to do. If there's a desire to be in business for yourself but not by yourself, and there's a desire to join a group of like-minded people has wrapped around it a business model and a great level of support, we may well be an opportunity for them. I mean, franchising is a big market.
Yeah.
There are lots of franchises where you can build yourself an income, so sort of create a business that provides you with a job, a revenue stream, which is absolutely fantastic. I would say FASTSIGNS is more about building a business and a team of people in order to achieve a certain sales growth that at the end of your journey, however long that is, be it the end of one agreement, two agreement, or as in the case of some people within our network, the third or fourth agreement, it means you've built something, you've got a strong asset to sell, and it's worth an amount of money, which hopefully then can buy you some form of annuity and provide for you in your retirement.
So in terms of the potential that I would have to build a strong business, you're telling me that it's a really good, strong potential?
Yeah, so I look at it like this. We wouldn't go into business with a potential franchisee unless we had a really strong feeling we were going to be successful. So we would treat their investment as our investment. It's equally as important to us, although the individual franchisee is financing it, they're putting their money on the line. We don't want failures, so we try and make the right decision thereon. If we make that decision jointly, if two parties are interested in the opportunity, and we believe the location that they've chosen, there's a decent market for us to do that, we're reducing the odds of failure, we're improving the chances of success. So if we go into business with people, invariably we're very confident that we're going to be successful and it's going to be a good relationship. Steph, I don't want to be in business with people who don't like either the company that they are working with or myself or my team. So we try and find like-minded individuals where our goals are aligned, mutual respect, and we provide the framework to allow them to achieve their personal objectives.
Okay, so John, you touched on the funding aspects. For someone that maybe they're not au fait when it comes to financing and that kind of thing, how do you coach people through that aspect of building a business? So
we do require a certain amount of liquidity, so a certain amount of a cash investment. We provide all of the templates and historical trading information for them to be able to formulate business plans with cash flows, with 3 and 5 year projections, and we have experience in amassing the information that's required to take that information to a financial institution and put forward a pretty strong case for the bank or the financial institution to lend them money. So in our case as a franchise, some of it is asset finance where you're buying equipment. So we're able to put together and support somebody to create business plans to secure that asset finance. And then on the other side, there is some traditional finance, which comes usually from high street banks. Banks are usually prepared to lend up to 70% of the overall investment. And, we've got experience in working with banks, and they kind of wouldn't lend if they didn't think there was a high chance that the business was going to be a success. So we have to give them the required amount of information, which we're able to guide a franchisee through in order to be successful with that application.
And then when it comes to the growth element, you've got the business coaches to help guide through the financial.
So 2 key roles within our business are business consultants and the marketing team. So we have a business consultant that would visit a new franchisee probably on day one, 2 or 3 times a week for 4 or 5 weeks, and eventually the franchisee says, "Leave me alone. This is too much support. I want to work on my own now." We provide extensive training over in Dallas, Texas for 1 week via online learning portals. There's quite a lot of online self-motivated training that has to go on. So the business consultants will provide access to all levels of support, be it recruitment, be it creating business plans, be it targeting customers. And then the second aspect is marketing. So we've got a small team of experienced marketeers who link with a big team of marketing professionals over in Dallas to get done. We work with some external agencies. We work with Coconuts, who provide massive support on the franchise development side of our marketing. And we engage with PPC and SEO agencies really to try and promote our brand in the right areas, to capture the right sort of B2B leads. The leads that are generated tend to convert into inquiries, and then 65% of that should turn into an order. So with us looking after those 2 areas of support, it allows a new franchisee to concentrate on managing their team, business management, networking, and developing their own business by following our model.
It sounds really, really good, a really good opportunity. So if someone watching this is interested, how do they get in touch with you?
So various ways. We have FASTSIGNS.com, FASTSIGNS.co.uk are our 2 websites, one for the US and one for the UK. Via the .co.uk website, there's a dedicated zone which you can click into, and that starts the inquiry or the discovery process, as we like to call it. Alternatively, our support office number is on the website. Drop us an email, drop us a line, let us know when and how you want to be communicated with, and we're happy to talk you through the process. We tend to log people into an online intranet portal where they can gain access to our information at their leisure, and at the point at which it's right for them, they would engage with us, and hopefully we would meet them face to face. But it is interesting, Steph, because you do sound like you might be interested in a FASTSIGNS franchise, but I bet you say this to all the franchisors.
I know a lot about your brand, and I do genuinely like your brand. I think what you do is really interesting in terms of a business model, and in terms of creating signage and the look and feel of offices and spaces, and you do a lot more than just wayward pointing signs. You do like whole graphic design stuff, and I think it's really interesting.
It's interesting you touch on the creative side, because many creative people are very good at the skill set area that they have, but they need to be supported perhaps in recruitment or perhaps in business management. Or even business planning. We can help with that and allow your creativity to shine. I know it isn't appropriate for you, so I'm not genuinely selling to you, but you would be a typical franchisee for us. You have flair in a certain area, and we can wrap our support around your flair and make a successful business. So if in the future, Steph, we've been here for 40 years, we'll be here for at least another 40, I would imagine.
That's great, thanks. John, thank you so much for talking to us.